Through the mirror, we can see the Evelyn family is happy, but suddenly everything disappears. This is not a movie on the topic of horror, but this is a movie about the 2022 multi-cosmic theory that is rated the best ever, making Marvel also have to wear pants on the head because it is not equal to a corner. So everyone, let me see this movie to understand why it is so appreciated. Evelyn is a busy woman. On 24 hours, she uses 16 hours to work. Currently, her family owns a laundry store, but has a trouble of consumer, so Evelyn is having to start with many papers. The husband Wayman is completely opposite to his wife. He was happy, but his personality was like a teenage child. However, at this time he wanted to divorce because she did not want her to suffer, take care of her family, and have a more comfortable life. But the story is still not over with Evelyn when the unique daughter in the house, Joy, is in love with a crowded friend, under Becky. As an Asian family, this is very difficult to accept. Suddenly, the TV screen was interfered. Wayman seemed to be entered by someone who moved like a martial arts star and then went into the room to get something. When Evelyn and her husband brought his dignity-sick father into a nursing home, Wayman saw an older couple, but they were still very happy together. This made him think about the life of his husband and wife. He wanted to travel with his wife to find a hot kiss, but also she deceived again because so many things had to think. At this moment, Wayman was entered by someone. He used the umbrella on the security camera, then turned to tell Evelyn that she was in danger. Then put on her hand a strange device and activate the brain scanning mode. Lie immediately images from the time Evelyn waited until now all appeared. It seems that she has a happy childhood when the father wants her to be a boy, to talk about Tong Dong. At the age of holding Millet, Love was a bit happy but was banned by the family. Despite that, she still left him to the US to start a career. Here, the couple bought a laundry store to make a living day. But then the heartbreaking things happened when the daughter loved a gay. Then the fastidious father was transferred to them with the couple. Back to the reality of Evelyn, as if he was suddenly given by the person who took the mind to a piece of paper and told her to follow. He told her not to tell anyone this, and even her husband. Then return the mind to Wayman. This really makes Evelyn was both scared and unknown what he was happening. While at the same family, the taxpayer, she followed the note of the mysterious person just now. The first is the shellfish shoe through both legs. The second is to close your eyes to imagine in the first room of the gatekeeper. The third is pressing the green button in your hand and do not forget to breathe. As soon as Evelyn followed the steps, he immediately moved to another of his being, in a certain universe. Here she met another version of Wayman, but not her husband in this universe. He said there was another crime that has been acting in his world and it is spreading through other universes. He had struggled through many universes to find a good enough to defeat the evil and return the balance to the universe. And that person brought himself a great good is Evelyn. Suddenly, the woman working in the tax department appeared to call her to wake up. If you do not explain all this bills and complete the tax payment, your convenience will be recovered. Because they are not good at American, people do not know how to explain properly. While the husband was working on the audit, Evelyn once again went into another universe. It seems that someone is trying to break the mouth at their talk. The door was quickly punched. Before the death of the hidden American man, Evelyn absolutely do not believe anyone. And the one who entered was the woman in the tax department. She seemed to be crazy, to spit an iron, and then directly killed the female lead in that universe. Back to reality, she breathed a sigh of relief when she was still alive. But when she saw the yellow woman opposite, she still felt insecure. So she asked more time to go home to get more papers. While waiting for the elevator, the woman suddenly stood up with a face behind the air. Evelyn was so panicked and went to her face. It turned out that she just wanted to return the bag that she forgot. Praising the actual action will make the laundry shop of the whole family live is only a thing. At the same time, Evelyn also discovered her husband's marriage application. Arguing about this when suddenly the mysterious man entered Wayman. At that time, the guard appeared to want the two of them to lie down and put their hands on their heads. Evelyn immediately postponed to follow, and the husband was drunk. He took back his hand and then unlocked the book bag, causing the whole crowd to protect the vigilance. Hey, in real life, you must become a honeycomb. It turned out that he only took the lipstick between his lips and slowly ate it. Then use a book bag to make weapons for the guards to not see the sky in the clouds anywhere. Evelyn hid in a surprised place at her husband's excellent performance. Very quickly, all the guards were measured by Wayman's power. Seeing that we still did not know what fear was, he grabbed the gravel in the aquarium and put it in the book bag. A young man finished the next move to eat a picture of her representative, plugged her head to the ground. The remaining guardians also quickly eat almonds like young people just now. After defeating it all, Wayman said Evelyn that if she didn't criticize, follow him to be able to reach her potential peak. If not, then lie down to accept the consequences. I criticized. Seeing her disagree, he forced her to follow. At the same time, residents of Theta Universe 4655 was captured by the pressure. The one behind all this is known as the goddess of Tupaki charms. The essence of Evelyn in this world has not been dead. She tried to drag away to hide but was discovered. Tupaki stood close to choosing the Evelyn Cup, making all other forms in the space belt scared. And one of them was killed by a Zoan hair. She reached out to do a bizarre movement and did not expect Joy's daughter to follow the same. Seeing his parents on the emergency news show, Joy immediately left. This side, Wayman leads Evelyn fled under the table and started explaining her everything. The world that she is in has many different forms in multi-universe. As such, we will call him Alpha to support in the brain. And an essence of Evelyn has found a way to connect other forms through the opponent's brain control. Thereby can access all memories, use energy, or even control their emotions. This is called space dance. Currently, all universes are in danger, and only Evelyn can restore the type of evil balance. After the explanation, Alpha immediately took her out of this place. He also added, Tupaki is the one who caused this, which we are trying to find a way to absorb Black Lakes to become the strongest. If this happens, all will fly. As soon as the two ran into the room, the yellow shirt was waiting there. Someone made the space dance to control her. Because every time you perform the jump will get the skills or strength of others, so she, yellow shirt, just push slightly can move the whole table. Alpha now has just led Evelyn ran and used a piece of paper to cut his hand to make a dance. The teammates on the other side said he had to hurt himself 4 times to succeed. At the same time, he cut his hand for the 4th time. The enemy was needed. She was dirty to him to rise and wave. Fortunately, Alpha was able to get the board to put on his back, where he was broken. However, he still flew into the room and then too. Evelyn felt so hiding in a corner. Alpha's original being said that let her perform the space dance. The teammates immediately advised that if they were not practiced first, they would be able to grill. This side, Alpha tries to break the door but with this body is not. So he called Evelyn and asked her to perform a space dance if he wanted to live a fever. She sounded like the device that Alpha made the strap on her hand. As long as she focused on martial arts, the computer will connect her to the form of the highest martial arts. However, you have to do something contradictory like a lie that you love the yellow shirt. Indeed, she was connected, but connected to her true essence. There she was arguing with her husband about the divorce application. On this side, she was fed on the mouth and fertilized her mouth. It is all fertilized until vomiting. But when he met Alpha again, he said that maybe he had found the wrong person, Fox, and return her husband in vain. After pulling the cupboard to rescue her husband, she immediately fell into the mind of another. Here she knew that her husband wanted to break up because she didn't want to see her suffering anymore. But the danger came to the ass, so I had to run the stone and awakened it later. Evelyn ran and said I loved her to make a dance but failed. As soon as she flew from the stairs to gently put her knee on her avatar, the dance was successful. She immediately moved to a new being where I was a movie star. And the movie she played in the world was a movie that loosened to Huang Feng. After practicing 7769 postures, Evelyn became a master of martial arts. With extreme lip power, so gently the rival of the opponent. Then counterattacked the old lady Mac Fong, a battle of pig face. She lost her momentum, so she fell down the stairs and then plugged her head through the wall unconscious. As for the husband, the soul does not know what just happened. At this time, Evelyn said that she saw a world where she did not marry Wayman. At this time, Wayman sadly turned away, but before she could explain it, Alpha's grandfather appeared again. Because Tupaki has noticed Evelyn in this world, the two have to quickly get out of here. Each time the jump will cause the body to lose a lot of energy, so it is necessary to eat a lot to supplement. At this time, the female lead said that she wanted to stay in the world that she became a cinema. Alpha immediately turned it off for her to wake up. The most dangerous is the pot of too many memories into a body that will cause her to die. At that time, Alpha also told her the fullness of Tupaki. In his world, people trained young warriors to make space dance. Among them is a very special girl, and the essence of Evelyn in that world forced her to surpass her herself. Ordinary people will die where she is turned off, but she has overcome. However, with the person who stuffed too many memories and strength turned her into a more cruel person. And the unexpected thing is that Tupaki is the girl's being Evelyn at this universe. Currently, no one knows what did Tupaki want to do, but surely one thing is that she is looking for Evelyn. Therefore, the two must find the cause and stop her. However, at this time, Evelyn was immersed in the world she was famous. But the unexpected thing is Wayman in his world is also a giant, when not her husband. In the province, both of them were gained by the police. At the same time, preparing to escort them, Tupaki appeared in a cool outfit with a pig as a pet. Her strength may be far beyond the imagination of everyone. Just touching the police's head, he immediately exploded his head to die on the spot. The rest of the people rushed to control and turned into a reluctant actor for her to be loose. He protects because he is too shot to shoot his teammates. And he also quickly ended his life when Tupaki was wide and headed to the ground. While she did not notice that another guard was shot seriously, Evelyn saw that, so she screamed in mercy for her daughter, but it was just a fleeting. The guard holding the 3-ton tree was turned into 2 40-centimeter fake birds. As a result, he was given a fake bird without any failure. At this time, Evelyn realized that it was not her daughter Joy. If it is guessing that Tupaki drove his mind that made his daughter drop out of school and tattooed in her hand. And what made a mother not want the most is her daughter Gay. As soon as Tupaki rushed, Evelyn stopped waiting for her for about 2 seconds. After that, try to put all your thoughts to a few variables. The nearest can gather their strength and their people. To change into the pile of universes that people have a finger like a sausage. Turns out 10 million years ago, the apes fought by turning off each other's avatars, so it evolved it. Returning to the present with nothing Alex's hands, Evelyn is completely harmonious before Tupaki. At this time, the female war asked what the opponent wanted from her. So the evil of the universe showed her another world. Here, Tupaki brought everything related to his life for all the universes into a cake. It was like a black lake that swallowed all the painful sadness. Only then can people really be liberated. As soon as Evelyn was suffering from that black hole, or suddenly someone had a Tupaki that made her stick to the wall. It is an Evelyn but an essence from the universe with Alpha. After letting Alpha inhale the shoes awake, he immediately took 2 people away. Here, Evelyn wondered why she chose a person like her against the evil of the universe. Alpha replied that she was the most special of all the universes he had ever come, because no one was so bad that she did not win any goals in life like her. From the beginning, I thought it praised me, but it turned out to be unable to bear it. At this moment, the outside transmitted into the sound of Joy's door and voice. The old man said carefully, because it could be fake Tupaki. But on the Alpha universe, it was not Tupaki. As expected, she followed the signal trace to find the resistance. Therefore, the old man and Alpha need to return to his homeland to cope. After the Evelyn family was returned to normal state, they did not understand why they were here and what they were doing. At that time, the female lead for the safety of Joy tight-taped to the chair. Then tell everything to the father and son, but they thought she had just beat the rock. At this time, the old man woke up and gave it to Evelyn a star and asked her to kill. Only then Tupaki cannot penetrate this world. Thinking about what the evil of the universe has caused, the female lead has no other way and then holds the star to Joy. But as a mother, how can she harm her daughter? So the old man immediately picked up the gun Joy, but Evelyn ran to stop. He said it was her in the Alpha universe forcing her daughter from making her turn to Tupaki. So are you going to confide to make it just dance to others? And maybe she will turn into the second Tupaki. Knowing that the old man had no intention of forgiving Joy, Evelyn performed strange records to perform the space dance. She turned into her being in the Alpha universe that the old man could not take action with his daughter. Then it turned into another essence and said that if the child was like Tupaki, he would probably have the power to save Joy and all the universes. So, when the old man did not notice, she immediately used a bottle of wine to beat flying the guns and then quickly led the father and son to escape. At this time, the old man in the universe Alpha immediately ordered the warriors to enter the essence on Earth to kill them. This side, Evelyn tried to confide in her daughter so she no longer has thoughts. Only then will the strength of Tupaki decreases. Outside, the most powerful warriors have come, but it seems that something is not good. At this time, Evelyn started to use the space dance to connect to all of his being. Their skills were quickly learned and used by her, until the clouds of the mighty warriors of the Alpha universe are as good as flew on the floor. But in a young age, the female lead encountered a tough opponent. She used her own GOG as a weapon, but it was immediately locked by Evelyn in the cabinet. Then, she transformed into a first step and used the possibility that it broke the chain, causing the opponent's dog to bite her head on the wall. In the end, she was thrown into the face of the heroic dance. Escape this guy, then meet others. This time, the opponent used 2 iron sticks to attack, making Evelyn hard. But when both of them hit each other's heads, the power from the other universe disappeared. Seeing the trophy in front of Han Ding, used it to clear itself to perform the dance. However, Evelyn prevented Han from doing that failure. While the two were bending each other, the first young man teased from where he appeared, to jump towards the trophy. So Evelyn immediately bit the arrow to make another dance. The place immediately fought with each other a landslide battle. Although it was still dangling on the second way, the head still used martial arts. Wearing the scene after that was even more life, so I would like to pass. The whole family wants to watch, then go out the 2 talented movies to see. Finally, the female lead has drawn 2 strange objects in the buttocks of 2 rivals, and Thing Loi won. Suddenly, the old man appeared again, forcing her to the corner of the wall and then holding the grenade to end endlessly. However, the female lead promptly made a jump to the world to have a giant pinky finger muscles. Thanks to that, she could push the old man to a corner. With my miraculous finger, Evelyn easily lowered the remaining enemy. But on the other side of Alpha and the resistance team were defeated by Tupaki. He used his last little strength to encourage Evelyn to try to win. At this moment, Tupaki used a space jump to control Joy's body. The female lead is confident that she now has the ability to fight. But suddenly, the memories of different forms are dancing. Perhaps the fact that the person stuffed too much into one has made Evelyn's body unable to float and rolled out to die. But everything has not ended here. The space dance has made their minds from the countryside and encountered many different incidents. But more surprisingly, everything went back to the movie. Could it be just a mythical dream of Evelyn? No, all the things that just happened completely real. Tupaki has falked Joy and pushed the heroine through another world. With my power, ATA can transform a harmless branch into any weapons you want. Evelyn showed that Huang was constantly being pushed into different worlds. After regaining her calm, she said that she would beat Tupaki with it. ATA immediately challenged her to punch her face. Evelyn immediately followed, but the opponent did not respond. This caused the female lead to ask a big question in her head. If Tupaki does not want to harm him, what is the purpose of ATA to find himself for? So, Tupaki immediately asked the female lead to sit closer and take them to another place. At that time, ATA appeared as a queen. What is Evelyn like? The Tupaki felt don't harm her daughter, but ATA offers a book and says that Tupaki or all the essences are Joy, and vice versa. Joy's fear is to have a fastidious mother like Evelyn. Although she knew everything she did was good for her daughter, the pressure she created was like an invisible prison that made Joy unable to be herself. After that, Tupaki led Evelyn went to the bread so she could see her true nature. At that time, different variants in the universes began to rebel. In this universe, she signed her husband's divorce application and did not bother to pay taxes for the state to recover the property. But in another universe, she saved her ex-lover. And the most surprising thing is Evelyn regained consciousness after death at the tax department, but she was heartlessly stabbed her lover for 100 years. Everywhere, all the universes, she hated her restrictive life. When things have become over-ending, the terrible things will happen. Evelyn turned into another and constantly harmed the surrounding relatives. It was at that moment trying to dance the universe that made all the heroines linked together. Even in a planet without life, the stone is also a body of her. Perhaps in this place, she feels that life is very peaceful and not under pressure. Returning to the reality, Tupaki said that building bread is not to erase reality, but to erase himself, and want to see the brand can really escape when entering there. Right at Tupaki, follow Evelyn entered the round cake when the female lead heard her husband Vu's return. He was trying to explain and pray to her grandmother in the department and the police to skip the pillar that his wife had just caused. Or, in another universe, he stood out to protect her, even when she had just stabbed his stomach. It was the tolerance and honesty of the husband that made Evelyn change. She just hugged him and cried. This was probably the happiest tears in her life. Finally, the female lead also finds the true nature in the child. My Body and Brave stand out directly with Tupaki. But while the fun was moving, ATA took advantage of her strength to bring the cake. It is actually a black hole and will punish all matter in this universe. As soon as Tupaki was about to leave, Evelyn quickly argued. ATA ordered her subordinates to attack her, but they were not now enough to refight the female lead. At this time, Wayman on the other side advised his wife not to kill. She immediately let go and no longer had that intention. Even when she was close to her death, she did not counterattack. She only used her legs to push them away and hugged the opponent so they could feel the love in the miserable life they have experienced. Even take his body to support the bullets to save people. Unexpectedly, those bullets did not skewer through Evelyn, but they passed her mind into an eye. Others regained joy in life. With daughter is facing the black hole, Evelyn immediately used a low-waist wire into a strand and wrapped it into her leg and pulled it back. Those who have not been in the unable to ask for inductance. Seeing that, the female adjusted a young man's hair and then controlled him to touch all of them. As soon as Evelyn intended to help her daughter awake, suddenly the old man from appearing. He said that let him sacrifice himself because it would make the world better. At this point, she said that she would never let Joy leave the way Dad let me go. Dad may not need any child, but I can't live without Joy. I spent my whole life asking him to have a better life, but she was as stubborn as her mother. I was very lucky to find a man who was forgiven, and it also found such a good girl. After listening to the old man, he let go, but Joy still stubbornly wanted to enter the black hole. The only step left was to come, but Evelyn promptly pulled her daughter aside. Because Joy still did not accept herself to love her herself, she challenged her mother. The two men from one world to the other world still did not win the disease. As soon as she was about to push her into the black hole, the power of a mother rising flatly hit evil from Joy, and as the affection of everyone in the family has helped her back. After getting rid of the disagreements in life, Evelyn's family was happier and her being in the funds. This is a very good movie, so my summary cannot always describe the meaning of the movie. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.